Hey guys, I'm gonna wait just a second for some people to pop on and y'all to get the notifications. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go right on through here and I'm gonna tag all these people that are in this amazing group because that's what I do, y'all. Hey Courtney, I am so honored that you asked me to come on and chat with you guys. I hope that you guys are having a fabulous Wednesday. I know that for me, honestly, today kicked me in the tail. It was just real life. So if you're popping on, say hey to me. I would love to chat with you. My name is Chastity Robinson, and I am a Superstar Director out of North Carolina, where the weather has been up and down and crazy, and I was so fortunate to meet Courtney at Star Director Summit Approach, and I'm going to just be honest, I just can't wait for events to start happening again, because I know that we all probably need our cups filled, and that you guys are probably ready for events the same way that I am. And I just am obsessed with your leader's fire and how much she is pouring into you guys. So let me know if this helps you. Okay? All right. So the first thing I'm going to get off talking to you guys about is habits and systems for your business. So just a little background information on me. I am a mom of two. I have a master's degree in teaching. I taught for 10 years and just recently retired from my teaching job this past August. So I have been doing Scentsy full-time since then. So if you're popping on, I want you guys to tell me, like, do you guys work full-time? Are you doing Scentsy? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Let me know kind of where you're at in this journey, because I think that it's really important to tailor those systems to where you're at, because everything that I'm going to share with you tonight, I created based on what I needed, because there was nothing out there in the Scentsy community that worked for me. And I think that that's something that everyone needs to realize with systems, is there's never going to be something that you're going to be able to print and go or log into your Google Calendar and go. You have to figure out what works for you. And the only way to figure that out sometimes is through trial and error. And if you're not failing, you're not growing. I am very big on that. And congratulations, Courtney. That is so exciting. So something that Orville said, and it literally brings tears to my eyes, because everything about my business changed when I implemented these things. And it's because Orville said this. Orville said, people move products, systems move people, leaders are born at events. And I can literally, I have full body chills every time I even say that. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's just been an emotional day. But people move products, systems move people, leaders are born at events. And I will never forget when I was sitting there and I heard him say that. And I did not have systems in place at the time. And I was like, well, no wonder I can sell all the PRV and I can do all the things, but I'm not growing leaders because I don't have a system. So talk to me now if you have a system, or what your system looks like, or if you don't have one, tell me that. Why do you feel like systems are important? Just talk to me about that. Goodness gracious, Rachel, full-time as a child care provider, 4 kids and 4 dogs. You are a superwoman. Working a full-time job with overtime, superwoman. I was teaching. I have 2 kids, a police officer husband. Busy was my life. So, you need a system. Nothing that you do matters unless you do it consistently. Nothing that you do matters unless you do it consistently. So many people give up on this business because they feel like what they're doing isn't working. But the problem is they're not doing those things consistently for long term. Okay? They're not doing it consistently long term. Everything that you do today and tomorrow is going to pay off in 90 days. And so many people don't realize that all of the work that you're putting in right now, you're not going to see the fruits of that labor for 90 days. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, went through slumps. And when I go through those slumps, I may not see the negative impacts that has right now. But 3 months from now, when I haven't sponsored anybody and my PRV is tanked, it's because I was in a slump and I wasn't working consistently. So consistency is key, okay? And a system is what is going to make you be consistent. And I love that you guys are being honest with me about not having systems. Many people in this business don't have systems because they scare them. Or they see all of these different forms and they don't know what to do and they just feel super overwhelmed. So tell me in the comments as well, are you a paper pencil person? Are you an electronic person? Are you a list person? How do you learn? How do you hold yourself accountable? Not even just for your business, just in life. If your kids have doctor's appointments, if you have something that you need to get done, are you making a mental note of it? Do you have to write it down? What helps you stay on track? Okay, good. Mystery, is that your name? Like, I'm not being a smart aleck. I mean, like, that's an amazing name. I love that, if that's your name. If it's not your name, I still love it anyway. Okay, paper, pencil, you guys are my people. Okay, spreadsheets, calendar, and lists. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys are my people. You guys are my people. Okay, so I'm a paper, pencil type person. This past year, I actually, or in August, well, in between August and now, I tried to sort of transition to electronic, and it wasn't for me. And so knowing what is for you is super important. So I'm going to show you, I have a happy planner. I like happy planners because you can customize it and you can put things in it. You don't have to have a happy planner. 3-ring binder works. Whatever you want to use works. For me, through trial and error, I've realized that I need one binder, one notebook, one anything, because if I have more than one thing, it doesn't come with me and then I'm scatterbrained. So, Brandy, with spreadsheets, that's sort of what I got going on here. So I have a lot of different checklists that are actually sort of in spreadsheet form. So this is okay if you like electronic too, because you could use it as well. But I have email checklists, I have leader checklists, I have daily goal trackers, and all of this stuff is going to be for you guys to use. Okay, so it's nothing that I'm going to keep a secret, but I want you guys to make sure that you are tailoring these things for you. Okay, so when it comes to a system, you need a system for the 3 legs of success. And this is something that my upline has taught me from the very beginning. And when it comes to the 3 legs of success, you need a system around PRV. You need a system around sponsoring, and you need a system around coaching your team. Okay? And now I have kind of added this in. My fourth leg of success, so it can be a 4-legged stool, is self-care and personal development. Because self-care and personal development is going to round out everything within your business. Okay? So, when it comes to your PRV, you need some type of system for how you're going to earn that PRV. Is it going to be through bag parties, home parties, events, etc.? We know that all of those things right now are a little bit different. But then you also need some type of system for how you are going to manage your customer follow-up and then your Scentsy Club, and your like LTOs. Okay, so tell me right now, what is your customer follow-up system? What do you guys use to follow up with your people? I use AMI. Not everybody uses AMI. If you don't have something, it's okay. It's okay to not have something. But what's not okay is to stay there. Okay? All right, calendar reminder. Okay? Perfect. So, for me, I use AMI because it tells me when I need to follow up with those people. Now, when I say that I use AMI, I don't just use what, like, I go into AMI and, like, edit my stuff. So it's not something that I do every single day. Let me tell you what I do. What I do, the second I see an online order come through, the second I have an order come through, if I see it in my email, I automatically send them a text or an email. Now, you may be thinking, well, I don't have time to do that. I get it, but I have a template saved in my phone with my picture on it. All I have to do is copy and paste that, and it just says, thank you for supporting my family. I appreciate you so much. That's it. But it's letting them know that I saw their order. Okay? Now, the next thing that I do is when their order ships, I text them and say, hey, this is your tracking number. It's expected to be there such and such date, blah, blah, blah. Now, you can do this batching as well. You can just say you're going to do this 2 or 3 times a week. But because Scentsy sends you those emails with those tracking things, I do it when I see it. Here's the kicker. I don't have notifications for my email turned onto my phone, meaning I'm not getting dings on my phone all day long. I open up my email when I'm ready to deal with it, because something I learned early on is only touch something once. Only touch something once. So if I open my email and I see that, I'm going to go ahead and send that email to that customer to let them know that their order is shipped, because I don't want to have to go back and do it later because I'm not going to remember. And you want to know how I do that? Is I have a template saved in my phone. Hey, blank, I put their name in it. Here's your tracking number. I copy it from my email. Your order is expected to be there blank. That's it. That's having good customer service. You have to take care of your customers, because your customers are the front line of your business. They are the people that are going to keep your money flowing in, your PRV flowing in, your sponsoring coming in. Because if you have low PRV, you likely have low sponsoring. Because at the end of the day, high PRV is going to equal high sponsoring every single time. And if you're not taking care of your customers, and they're not hearing thank you from you, they're not hearing any of this stuff, they're going to go buy from somebody else who's going to take the time to do that. You understand? Okay, and so then after their order ships, I'm going to follow up with them a couple days after they get their order. Why a couple days? Because like people like me, or just people in general, they may not be opening their mail every single day when it comes. I know I have mail sitting on my counter right now because I know it's stuff that I don't feel like putting away, so I haven't opened it yet, right? And if people are living and breathing Scentsy, waiting for it to show up at their door, they need to join your team, right? And how many times are you ordering things and you're not hearing anything from a consultant? We don't do that in Scentsy. With Scentsy, we thank them. We let them know that they're appreciated, because I don't know about you, but I've ordered from other network marketing companies and I've never heard a dang thing out of that consultant. And I'm spending $130 on face stuff. I better hear a thank you. Right? Otherwise, I'm going to go find somebody that does appreciate me. Because in Scentsy, we're here to change the world, and we're here to shine that light. Right? And we're already on our phones. We're already checking our email. Save it in your phone and send it right away as soon as you see it. Okay? It's going to make a difference. I promise you, it will make a difference. Even if it doesn't seem like it right away, it will make a difference. Save it in your phone. Okay? Sometimes you get things that people, like for instance, you may say, okay, well, what if it's somebody I don't really know? That's why I'm saying that you can text or email them. If you don't have their phone number, reply just back to that email. It's okay. And if you don't know them, this is something that I always do. If I don't know that person, I'm like, hey, thank you for this. Thank you for the order. I appreciate you so much. May I ask how you found my information? I always reward referrals. I would love to give some freebies to whoever referred you. You know what that does? That entices them to send a referral to you so that they can get something free too. And it's showing them that you're going to care about them and that they are not just a dollar sign. Okay? Yeah, so posting in your VIP page is great. If your VIP page is working for you, I absolutely encourage it. And then you can send them, when you send them that thank you, you can say, hey, are you on social media? Let me add you to my VIP page. Okay? I use the app Edison Mail, Edison Mail, and that's where I save my templates. So it's literally, it has my picture already on it. It has the text already on it. I literally have a blank line. So I know that I have to input that stuff. It takes 3 seconds for me to actually put that stuff in because I've saved it in my phone. Be a good human and send that stuff to them. Okay? And then that's sort of where AMI comes in. That's where I'm saying I don't use it religiously, but that is my system for that. Now, for me, I also send thank you mail in the mail. So if they're paying shipping, I send them a customer mail out. Okay? The way that I keep up with that, because I only do customer mail outs maybe 3 times a month, what I do is I have a paper in my planner that says thank you for PWS orders, and I still write them a handwritten thank you note and maybe a scent circle, some samples, etc. And all I do here is I write down the name of the last person I sent it to, so I know that I'm caught up until Rhonda's order on February 11th. Okay? So then that way I'm not questioning who I have sent something to. And I do this consistently. My people love to get mail from me, even if it's a freaking felt sample, with a handwritten thank you card. How many times are people only getting bills in the mail? Send them some happy mail. Even if it's just a handwritten thank you note and you can't afford to send samples, you can use a postcard. 35 cents. Be the light, okay? I promise you, your business will thank you. So you need a system around PRV, okay? It's the 17th of the month. How many of you guys have tried to book parties for next month? How many of you are thinking about where your PRV is going to come from next month? How many of you have Scentsy Club subscriptions still coming out this month and you're thinking about next month? PRV is always going to be something that you have to lead with. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if you don't know about the 2x2x2 rule, it's something that you need to implement right now. 2,000 PRV, 2 new recruits for 2 years, and teach your team to do the same, and you're going to build replacement income. 2,000 PRV, 2 new teamies for 2 years, teach your team to do the same, and you're going to build replacement income, period. I promise you. Not everybody that joins your team is going to want to be a business builder. Not everybody that joins your team is going to want to change the world. But if you're on this call tonight and you're listening to this training, you clearly want to do something with your business. And I'm proud of you. So show up. Even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. So you need a system for all of those things. Scentsy Club, if you haven't watched all of the different trainings on Scentsy Club, you need to. Because I'm already at 2,500 PRV, and I have 800 PRV still coming from Scentsy Club for the rest of this month. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I work every single month to build my Scentsy Club. Because that is PRV that you have to work for one time that's recurring, that you don't have to stress about, whether it's yours, whether it's a team member, whether it's somebody that may potentially want to join. I have recruited so many people out of Scentsy Club. If you're not sharing Scentsy Club in every single one of your mail outs, you need to be. It needs to be something on one of your systems. Okay, so the next system that you need is for sponsoring. Now, when I say that you need a system for sponsoring, it's really kind of a touchy subject because you have to sponsor as a lifestyle. Sponsoring is not a checklist. Sponsoring is not something you can only do one day a week and expect to be successful. Living the Scentsy life and always talking about the opportunity is something that has to be consistent for you to really grow in it. It just does. But when it comes to sponsoring, I want you to ask yourself, do you have a dream team list written down? Are you consistently building a relationship with those people? And I'm talking from this little diagram right here. It's the 3 legs of success. I've shared that with Courtney, and I will share all of these things with you guys. Are you always building your list? So when I say that I have a system for sponsoring, it's more so called list building. And that's a section up here in my planner. And that means that I'm consistently building a relationship with people. So I do something daily called my Daily 5, meaning that I intentionally go and talk to at least 5 people a day. That doesn't mean about Scentsy. That means about life. That means about going and finding people that are interested in the same things that I am and building a relationship with them, because sponsoring is not a sprint. It is a marathon game. So you should always be building your list. So in my planner, I have a dream team list of all of the people that I am trying to or wanting on my team. And then I also have a Frank's list. I don't call it my list of 100 anymore because I feel like that's really overwhelming for new consultants. It's more so friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids, social contacts. I'm always adding to that list because if you're scrolling on social media, you need to be intentional. And sponsoring isn't going to happen just on accident. And then also, are you sharing the opportunity consistently? Are you sharing why you joined Scentsy? Are you sharing why you stay with this company? Are you sharing that Scentsy paid for your manicure? Are you sharing that Scentsy lets you be a stay-at-home mom for some extra cash? Are you sharing that you earned an incentive? Are you sharing that you have a community that you don't want to leave? Because not everybody joins for money. Think about it very, very simply. And I know as leaders, sometimes it's really hard to check yourself because you already know what you have, right? And so you want everybody to know that, but we have to take it really back down to basics. Okay, so building your list. And then a system for coaching. This means like one-on-one mentoring, not just posting on your team page. But when I say coaching, you need a system for how you train brand new team members. So anytime that somebody joins your team, whether it's one person or 15 people during a join special month or just a rockin' month, you need to be able to say that you've trained them consistently. And that's something that I wasn't doing. And I would have 5 or 6 people join in 1 month and I would be like a squirrel with my head cut off because I couldn't remember what I did. So I have a list. And I just actually reprinted out a bunch of my forms. That's why everything isn't checked off. But it has my new consultant checklist. So I write their name down and I have specific touch points that I go through with them, and I check it off next to them. And if you aren't helping your brand new team members launch their business, you need to. Because the people are going to build your business. You can't build your business alone. Just like people move products, systems move people. So you have to have a system for onboarding new team members, period. Whatever that system looks like. One thing that I am super, super passionate about is when you're training, train with a video and save it and start a YouTube channel. Honestly, who gives a damn who's going to judge you? They don't feed your family. They don't pay your bills. And if you're going to take the time to do a training, why in the world are you not going to save it for future use for other people? You never know whose life you're going to change. And just because maybe only one person shows up on your training tonight, you don't know how many people are going to eventually watch your training a month later when someone new joins. So work smarter, not harder. Connecting with your team is super important. Everything in this business is built on relationships. So you cannot expect everybody to want to be a rock star. So knowing your team, and knowing what they want from this business is super, super, super important. Okay? And then the last thing that you need a system around is self-care. This is probably, I can't say it's the most important because all of these things are important, but self-care is something that is very, 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 very important, especially as a leader. You need to set your business hours and set your boundaries. If you don't want to be contacted after 8 o'clock at night, don't answer a team member if they text you after that, period. Let it be known what your business hours are. Put it as your email signature. Put it in your new team mail outs. Like, you have to set those boundaries because there are going to be people that take and take and take. And in this business, you have to create leaders, not leeches. Let me say it again. You need to create leaders, not leeches. And if somebody's texting you at midnight and you answer, you're rewarding that behavior, period. Doesn't matter. There is no Scentsy emergency. You are not Scentsy 911, period. You are not a 24-hour Walgreens. You need to set those business hours, whatever they look like for you, period. My team knows it's my email signature. It's in my new consultant mailouts. If you Facebook message me, you're going to get ignored. You have my email. You have my phone number. I'm not responding to Facebook messages from team members for questions. Why? Because I use that for customers. Because I use that for building relationships with other Scentsy leaders like Courtney. You get to set those boundaries. You get to decide what that is, and nobody else has to be happy with it. Just set that expectation and let them know what it is and stick to it. Because if you just let it slide once, you rewarded that behavior. And if you're like me, I hate notifications. I hate seeing that somebody needs something and I'm not responding. It was harder on me than it is on them. But when you respond later during your business hours, you can say, hey, sorry, you text me outside of my business hours. That's not how I'm responding now, blah, blah, blah. Exactly what Courtney said. If you can't do your boundaries with a team of 1,000, don't do it with one. So replication is key. If you can't do it for 1,000, don't do it for one. Because if you haven't learned yet, you will have people that message you at midnight on the night of a catalog transition, and you've went to bed and they're blowing you up because they can't get something that's been out of stock for 3 months. It'll happen. Do for one what you can do for everyone when you have a group of 10,000. And if you think that's impossible, you're right. But if you speak it into existence and you believe that you can, you will. I never thought I would have a group of 1,500. I never thought that I would be where I am right now, but I started believing in myself and realizing that I could and I would and I did. And belief is super important. Something that I believe that you need to do every single day is to feed your brain. Feed your brain with positivity. Feed your brain with podcasts. Feed your brain with self-care. Feed your brain with Jesus. Whatever it is that fills your cup. Hold on. You need to feed your brain every single day. Something else in this business, it's really hard to turn work off because we work from home. I can see a Scentsy box that came in. I can see emails that need to be sent. I know that orders need to be packaged up. You have to set those boundaries. You have to turn it off and spend time with your family because you don't want your family to hate your business, because this business can be a vessel to help your husband quit his job. This business can be a vessel to take you on vacations that you never thought you could go on. This business can be everything, but you don't want to end up resenting it because you burn out. And it happens to a lot of leaders, okay? Move your body. Exercise is super important. Even if you're not somebody that feels like they need to be super fit, go take a walk in nature. Go get some sunlight. Do what you need to do. But if you don't do those things, you're going to be running on empty. And you can't pour from an empty cup. And Courtney just said that notifications give her anxiety. I don't have notifications on anything. Anything. My phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 8 o'clock. Every day. On schedule. Schedule it. It's okay. Nobody's going to die because you don't answer their text message. Nobody's going to die because you don't respond to their order at 10:15 at night and you've already went to bed. And if they go find another consultant that was up and just so hungry to take their order and you're in bed or you're spending time with your kids, you don't need that person, because there's always going to be more. There's no such thing as scarcity in this business. No such thing. Okay, I'm off my preaching thing. I'm going to talk to you guys about making your list for your business. I sent Courtney these links. There's 3 little menus when it comes to your personal business for PRV activities. You guys know what those things are. I'm not going to talk to you guys about that. Same thing with prospecting and sponsoring. Same thing with customer service. My suggestion to you is to look at these 3 menus. And I call them menus because they're like choice boards. I'm a teacher, whatever. Look at those things and decide the things that you either already do or need to implement. Now, systems can be very, very overwhelming, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself or put expectations on yourself that you're not going to keep up with. So if you see that you're not doing any of these things consistently, start small. If you don't have a customer follow-up system, that is what you need to start with. Start implementing that. Batch your work, meaning come up with some templates that are saved in your phone, that are saved in your email, that you can automatically send to people when you see them come in. Download the AMI app and fix the notifications or fix the things in there that tell you when you need to send texts. Don't just go with the defaults. The defaults will overwhelm the hell out of you. I'm sorry, but they will. Because they're going to tell you that you need to follow up with these people basically every day. Nobody wants to be talked to every single day like that. That's crazy, right? So come up with those things. And then you're also going to see some leadership menus or lists or some lists for leadership. When it comes to leadership, recognition, training, and communication. That's it. The biggest thing that I want to say to you guys is that anything that you are choosing not to know in 2021 is a choice. Ignorance is a choice in 2021. And I don't say ignorance in a mean way. I say that because when Courtney joined, all of these YouTube channels, all of these workstation resources, none of this stuff was available to us when we joined. The reason why leaders share these things is because we want to help people. But you have to be able to help yourself and go seek out that information. So if you don't know what to do, go find the information instead of just posting, hey, spam me with your customer follow-up systems. No, honey, go find it. Search in your team pages, search in your leadership pages, search on YouTube, search on the workstation. I promise you it's there. Everything that you could possibly want to know is out there. Honestly, there's way too much information. You just need to decide what's going to work for you. But don't get paralysis because there's too much out there. If you know you're a paper pencil person, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Stay in your lane, put your head down, and get to freaking work. Get to work, because now is the time. Now is the time. And I just want you to know that you can do this. So when it comes to me, my systems are going to look much different than someone who is a newer consultant. I'm a superstar director. I have directors. I have star directors. I have other things that I need to do. But I have a checklist for my one-on-ones that I'm going to do every month. I pick those people. I pull out what I'm going to talk to them about. I have a new consultant checklist. I have a reinstatement checklist. I train reinstatements the same way I do a brand new consultant. I have my list building tab, which I told you guys about with my dream team, and my Frank's list. And then I have basically my personal business tab where I talk to you guys about, I have a list for my PWS orders. I batch my Scentsy Club thank yous. So Scentsy Club gets a little bit different of a mail out, but I only do that once a month because we know that Scentsy Clubs are coming out a bunch of different times, right? So at the beginning of the month, I can kind of look and see, okay, I have 15 Scentsy Club subscriptions coming out. So what I do is throughout the month, I get those thank yous together and I don't mail them until all of my club subscriptions come out. I can see if I got any more, and they're getting something a little bit more special because they're paying that shipping. They're a recurring customer. I do something special for them. So I keep up with that different. The only other thing that I really have in my planner for my personal business that's something different is scent reminders. And this is just something that I've done for my customers. So like I know that I have a couple customers that really, really like Honeymoon Hideaway. And if you've been with Scentsy for a while, you know Honeymoon Hideaway is a really popular scent. I know that it's coming back and Bring Back My Bar in June, but I would not have remembered that these 5 people really liked that scent. You want to know how I found that out? I did a Google form and I just did a like a survey, and I said, what is your ultimate favorite Scentsy scent? Or I just do surveys with my customers to get to know them, and that was something. Somebody told me their favorite scent was wild watermelon. Somebody said red candy apple. Someone said spring forward. I would not know that if I hadn't done that. And that's being a good customer. That's being a good consultant and taking care of my customers. I have to write that down and keep it in my planner so that I know. And then if I have a new customer, how many times have you had a new customer come to you and you're like, and they're wanting Thunderstorm or Honeymoon Hideaway or Zen Garden, and we don't have that scent. And of course, you as the consultant, you're trying to find something similar that you can offer them, but why not write it down? So when it comes back and bring back my bar, you can remind them. Okay. Now, the only other systems that I have is I have a daily goal tracker. This one is one that I write in. And this changes every month for me because as you grow habits, you don't have to write them down. So for instance, checking my news tab daily. That's a habit. I don't need to write that down and put that on a checklist because I'm going to do it daily, right? Something that I've wanted to form a habit around is telling people on my friends list, happy birthday. This is going to sound really awful, but I learned this from Heidi. Heidi unfriends people on their birthday for people that she doesn't know anymore. And so I actually do the same thing. When I go to tell my people happy birthday, if I don't really know them or I don't have a relationship with them, I'll either tell them happy birthday or I delete them from my friends, because you can only have 5,000 friends on Facebook. So hello, it's smart. And Heidi, I can't remember when Heidi said that, but I was like, that's genius. Because who has time to go through their friends and delete people or unfriend them? So that's something that's on my checklist. Daily 5 is on my checklist, meaning I am going to hold myself accountable to go and build a relationship with 5 people. It's not always the same people. And let's be honest, we're real people, right? We're gonna miss people. We're gonna miss days. It's okay. But you have to find out a way to hold yourself accountable. You can see right here, your girl is not doing very good at whatever that is right there. But I make myself come look at it, because it doesn't matter what you do unless you do it consistently. Okay? Now, and other things on my list are like to check my calendar, meaning like the Scentsy calendar. I'll miss things because I'm a teacher and I used to know what day of the week it was every day. And now I'm like, I don't know what number the day is and what day of the week it is. And it's because I just kind of let it go from being so structured. And honestly, working from home sometimes when you're coming from a full-time job is even harder. I'm just going to be honest, because you have more time to BS around. Okay? And then the other 2 checklists that I live and die by are my email checklists, because if you don't do it consistently, it doesn't matter. And then a leader checklist. All of these things are in my Google Drive that I know Courtney will share with you guys. This is the last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with. Please, 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 please do not go to my Google Drive and just print off my systems and expect for it to work for you, because it won't. The layout may not work. The things on it may not be what you need a system around. Take the list ideas that I've shared and that I've gotten from so many other leaders and decide what's going to work for you and what you're actually going to do. Don't put things on a list that you're not going to do or you're just going to feel defeated. But you need a system around PRV, sponsoring, coaching, and self-care. Do something for you every payday. Do something for your brain every single day. Every day. Feed your brain. Whether that's reading your devotional, whether that's turning your phone on D&D, whether that's binging Netflix, but don't do it every day because your business will pay for it. Reward yourself with some Netflix after you work your business, right? But I'm going to leave you with this, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. People move products, which is us. We move Scentsy. We move the bars, the room spray, the Scentsy soak. We do all of that, right? We're people. But systems are going to move people, meaning you're not going to grow leaders unless you're training consistently, unless you're showing up on programs like this, unless you're doing the things that you need to do consistently. And leaders are born at events. And right now for me, events, because we're not having in-person Scentsy events, events are this. Events are showing up for your Wednesday night calls and your Monday night calls with Courtney. Leaders are born at events. If somebody's having an event, you show up, even when you're scared. And guys, I'm an introvert. Hands down, I will hide from you if I see you in a store. I will hide. I am very introverted. I like to be by myself. I am not very outgoing unless I am in my element. So being an introvert, I have social anxiety. I will say the stupidest stuff to you if you see me in public, just because it just comes out. Own your weird. Own your authenticity. And just be you. Be you. All right? I appreciate you guys for showing up tonight. I hope this helped you. And I post my trainings on YouTube. And I am just here to help you guys. I love y'all, even though I don't know you. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.